Bartimaeus. This is one of my favorite stories that Norville always talks about, okay? And you may say, well, how's that fit in? It's obedience. And sometimes being obedient in the little things are harder than being obedient in the big things. And sometimes being obedient in the big things is harder than being obedient in the little things. You know, the word says the little foxes spoil the vine. Well, we have to be obedient in the little things that God tells us to do if we want the blessings to flow and if we want to grow into His perfect will. So I'm going to read this. It's Mark 10:46. Then they came to Jericho, and as he was leaving Jericho with his disciples and a great crowd, Bartimaeus, a blind beggar, a son of Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside. And when he had heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to shout, saying, Jesus, Son of David, have pity and mercy on me now. And many severely censured and reproved him, telling him to keep still. But he kept on shouting out all the more, You Son of David, have pity and mercy on me now. And Jesus stopped and said, Call him. And they called the blind man, telling him, Take courage, get up, he is calling you. He got Jesus' attention. He was crying out to Jesus. And throwing off his outer garment, that was a symbol of him not being blind anymore, because blind people wore a certain garment. And he threw this garment off, okay? He leaped up and he came to Jesus. And Jesus said to him, What do you want me to do for you? And the blind man said to him, Master, let me receive my sight. And Jesus said to him, Go your way, your faith has healed you. And at once he received his sight and accompanied Jesus on the road. Well, number one, if you cannot really be operating in faith if you're not walking in obedience.
That's right. That's exactly right.
You cannot be operating in faith if you're not walking in obedience to the best that you can. Now, we all do things wrong, and this is not to condemn anybody, this is to help you. But I remember, and I've stood up here and I've walked the floor, and I've shown you time and time again how blind Bartimaeus cried out to the Lord. And usually when I do that, the anointing of God hits me pretty strong. Okay?